Oh, Mario Party. I love me some Mario Party. The 64 era were some classics. GameCube era was awesome. 8 was pretty good. And for some reason, 9 and 10 exist. What are we doing here? Mario Party is one of Nintendo's staples in terms of multiplayer games. If you ever got together with friends or family, chances are you were probably playing Mario Party, Mario Kart, or Smash, regardless of what system you were on. Sure, you might have played Wii Sports or GoldenEye on the 64, or maybe Hello Kitty Cruisers on the Wii U. Probably not. I mean, maybe you are, I don't know. Mario Party is essentially a board game, just without the board, because it's a video game, but with a board. It's essentially a board game. You pick however many turns you want, and then every turn, each player rolls the dice, moves somewhere on the board, and then after all 4 people go, you play a minigame. Rinse and repeat until the game's over. And the goal is to collect as many coins as you can, whether it be through the minigames or by other means, get to wherever the star is on the map and buy it before anybody else does. And the person with the most stars wins. But with Mario Party 9 and 10, they decided to throw that out the window and try something different. Gone are the coins and stars, and they are condensed into one collectible called Mini Stars. And the person who has the most mini stars at the end of the game wins. Gone are these somewhat elaborate boards where you can decide where you want to go, and everybody's in a vehicle together, and you take turns traveling across a linear board because we don't get choices. We're told where we're supposed to go because reasons. I didn't necessarily dislike Mario Party 9 and 10. I did actually have fun with it, but it's just not what I want from a mainline Mario Party game. 9 and 10 should have been relegated to spin-offs, or at the very least, an extra mode included with traditional Mario Party, because having it as the main focus says that this is the direction we're going. You're not getting the old stuff anymore. Apparently it didn't work out too well because they ended up going back to the way it was anyway. You have to give them credit for at least trying something different, but when it's changed so much that it doesn't even feel like the same thing, at that point make it a spin-off. Almost every other handheld game in the series does something different, and they aren't numbered. So how's come Island Tour and Star Rush aren't numbered, but 9 and 10 are? Everybody being stuck in a cart and being forced to move together isn't necessarily a bad thing. It does have its moments where you work together. There's times when you have to each roll a dice to try and get as big a number as possible, like to jump a gap to continue on the path. If you don't, you're going to wind up taking the worst path. Then of course there's Bowser Party, which we'll get into later. But there's also the boss fights. I think the boss fights are some of the most interesting and fun things in the game. They managed to make the co-op games both competitive and cooperative at the same time, because everybody's trying to do as much damage to the bosses as possible, and the person who deals the most damage ends up winning. And you also have other things that'll give you bonus points, such as like hitting the boss's weak points or doing the final blow, and it's very fun. I like how they managed to handle the boss fights. The big problem with the boards being linear is you're always going to wind up at the same spot by the time the game's over. There might be some paths where you choose to go left or right, but ultimately it's going to wind up at the same area. It's more like, do you want to go 5 spaces to the left or 5 spaces to the right? Do you want to eat moldy cheese or rotten meat? Either way, it's going to end the same way. With all the previous Mario parties, you had these very elaborate maps. You don't know where you were going to be by the time the game was over. And there would be things that would completely shift the game. You could be right there ready to get a star. Something will happen. Oh, you're not there anymore. You lost out on the star. Oh well. With everybody being together in a vehicle, it's also taken away or nerfed a few things. Items are now just dice variants, like the 1, 2, 3 dice or the slow dice. There's no more uniqueness like a gold pipe or a magic lamp or a mushroom. Another thing that's been taken away is Boo, so you can't really steal coins or stars. There are some scenarios where you can steal mini stars from people, but it just doesn't feel the same. But due to the stars and coins being condensed into mini stars, it almost devalues them in my eyes. You know, trying to get a star in the older games took so much more effort than obtaining mini stars in 9 and 10. With Mario Party 10, we got 2 new modes, Bowser Party and Amiibo Party. Yay. Because of the fact that Mario Party 10 was on the Wii U, Bowser Party takes advantage of the gamepad and makes it 5 players as opposed to the normal 4 players. The player with the gamepad is Bowser, and the other 4 players are playing in the cart like normal. And I actually liked Bowser Party more than the normal mode. I feel it works having all 4 players in the cart working together because you're trying to escape Bowser. So instead of mini stars, you have hearts, and Bowser's trying to take the hearts away from the players, and the players are just trying to get to the end before they all lose all their hearts. Overall, it's the same basic game, just you gotta get to the end before you lose all your hearts. But the problem with Bowser Party is, almost every game I've played, it's almost a guarantee Bowser's gonna win because it's so unbalanced. If a player loses all their hearts, then they're out, and so that means you have one less dice to roll when it's the player's turn. But Bowser will still get his 4 dice, so it's like once he gets caught up, he's just gonna keep going at you and knocking you out like back to back. I feel they could have easily fixed that by making Bowser have 1 less dice to roll, but they didn't. There are a new set of minigames specifically for Bowser Party. Just like every other thing, they can be hit or miss, especially Bowser's Hammer Slam. You can just pick one person and just keep beating the shit out of them.
I've seen some kicking ass in my time, and that is the crappiest kick-ass I've ever seen.
And Bowser Party uses the same maps that the main mode uses. However, only 3 of them are playable on Bowser Party. Why we don't get to play all 6 of them, I don't know. Would it really be that difficult to make it happen? Like, come on, really? Why? And last but not least, we have Amiibo Party. This mode is, well, more like classic Mario Party than the main mode. Unfortunately, it is super simplified on a square board, kind of resembling Monopoly to an extent, and it's blocked by amiibos. You have to have an amiibo to play this mode. And what is the significance of using amiibos in this mode? Absolutely nothing. You just tap your amiibo on the controller to roll the dice, and that's it. You do get items that you can store on the amiibo, but, you know, whoop-de-frickin' do. It's not bad. I did kind of like it considering it was very simple, but it's just not as good as the classic Mario Party games. But it is kind of a nice sigh of relief to have a more classic mode in addition to the cart mode and Bowser mode. But you have to have those amiibos. You have to shell out more money to get these amiibos just to play this mode that you can technically play without them, but they just make it required. This is stupid. On a random note, I was looking up a list of all the Mario Party games and the release dates for this video, and I saw that Mario Party DS came out between 8 and 9, and DS is the only handheld one prior to the Switch games that play like a classic Mario Party. So, as far as I'm concerned, DS is the real Mario Party 9, and 9 and 10 are more of the spin-offs. But regardless of how you feel about Mario Party 9 and 10, whether you love them, hate them, could give 2 shits, just remember, they are not the worst Mario Party game that's ever been made. There was another one, so bad, that they didn't even call it a Mario Party. So bad, almost not even a game to begin with. It was a coaster, packaged with amiibos. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.